What happens when the mighty gods of the frozen north clash with the legendary deities of Mount Olympus? Norse and Greek mythology may have risen from two very different cultures, but both shaped how humans once understood power, nature, and destiny. The Norse gods came from a world of harsh winters, endless struggles, and the shadow of inevitable doom. The Greek gods, by contrast, came from a land of philosophy, city-states, and a vision of immortality through glory. Yet both pantheons give us gods of thunder, rulers of heaven, goddesses of love, and tricksters who could shake the world. Today we'll pit Odin against Zeus, Thor against Ares, Freya against Aphrodite, Loki against Hermes, and many more, comparing their myths, powers, and personalities. By the end, you'll see why these two pantheons remain the most famous in history. Let's begin at the top. Zeus, king of Olympus, is the supreme sky father. With thunderbolts in his hand, he enforces order, ruling over gods and mortals alike. His throne is absolute, and his authority often unquestioned. Odin, the All-Father of Norse myth, holds a similar position but in a very different way. Odin is not simply a storm god, he is a seeker of wisdom. He sacrificed his eye at Mimir's well in exchange for knowledge, and hung himself on the world tree, Yggdrasil, pierced by his own spear to uncover the secrets of runes. While Zeus maintains dominance through raw power, Odin ensures survival through cunning, foresight, and relentless sacrifice. One rules by fear and authority, the other by mystery and wisdom. Now, what about the Thunderers? Thor, son of Odin, is the hammer-wielding protector of humanity. With Mjolnir in hand, he crushes giants and monsters, defending both gods and humans alike. His power is direct, explosive, and unrelenting. Compare this with Ares, the Greek god of war. Ares represents not noble battle, but bloodlust, chaos, and destruction. Interestingly, while Thor was adored by his people, invoked for strength and protection, Ares was feared and often despised, even by the Greeks themselves. Warriors prayed to Athena for strategy and victory, not Ares for carnage. In some ways, Thor parallels Zeus himself with his control of storms, but where Zeus wields lightning as a symbol of dominance, Thor wields thunder as a weapon to shield mankind. Love and beauty also take very different forms. Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, is born from sea foam and represents desire, beauty, and seduction. Her influence is irresistible, able to sway even the most powerful gods. But Freya, her Norse counterpart, is more than a goddess of love and beauty. She is also a fierce warrior and sorceress, leading the Valkyries who guide the souls of the fallen into battle afterlife. Where Aphrodite symbolizes pleasure and passion, Freya embodies both the sweetness of love and the ferocity of war. She is not just a lover, but a fighter, and her duality reflects the harsher reality of Norse life. Then come the tricksters. The Greeks had Hermes, messenger of the gods, a clever, mischievous, and witty figure who could outsmart nearly anyone. He was patron of travelers, thieves, and merchants, always charming, always sly. The Norse had Loki, and while both share cunning and playfulness, Loki's mischief could turn catastrophic. Loki causes the death of Balder, the most beloved of gods, and his schemes help trigger Ragnarok, the end of the world. Hermes' tricks are clever games. Loki's pranks often bring doom. Both reveal how their cultures viewed cleverness. Greeks saw wit as a gift. Norse saw cunning as dangerous but necessary. Let's talk about the underworld. In Greek myth, Hades rules the realm of the dead, a stern but fair overseer. His world is not necessarily evil, but a place of shadow and inevitability. In Norse mythology, Hel, daughter of Loki, rules her own realm of the dead, Helheim. Unlike the glorious halls of Valhalla, where warriors chosen by Odin feast until Ragnarok, Hel's domain is cold, grim, and silent. While Hades was respected, even feared, Hel was often shunned, her realm a reminder of death without glory. The difference reflects cultural ideals. Greeks viewed death as inevitable. Norse celebrated heroic death and dreaded meaningless ends. Now, consider fate itself. The Greeks had the Moirai, the Fates, three sisters who spun, measured, and cut the threads of life. Even Zeus could not defy them. The Norse had the Norns, mystical beings who wove destiny beneath the roots of Yggdrasil. They too held power even above Odin, reminding us that in both cultures, destiny was inescapable. Yet, there is a difference. Greek myth emphasizes the permanence of fate, while Norse myth adds the inevitability of doom. Where Greeks saw life as a story, woven to its natural end, the Norse saw the entire cosmos marching toward Ragnarok, the final battle that even gods could not survive. What about sea gods? Poseidon, brother of Zeus, rules the waves, creating storms, earthquakes, and horses. He is unpredictable, violent, but deeply tied to Greece's seafaring culture. In Norse myth, there isn't one god solely ruling the seas in the same way. Instead, giants like Aegir and the world serpent Jörmungandr embody the chaos of oceans. This shows a cultural difference. The Greeks personified the sea in one mighty god, while the Norse saw it as a primal, monstrous force beyond control. Warrior goddesses also deserve a comparison. The Greeks had Athena, goddess of wisdom, war strategy, and justice. She represents cleverness in battle, the disciplined side of war. In the Norse pantheon, we see Valkyries, Odin's shield maidens, who chose the slain worthy of Valhalla. Athena ensures victory through wisdom. Valkyries ensure honor in death. One values survival through intelligence. The other celebrates sacrifice through courage. We also notice big contrasts in immortality. Greek gods are eternal, never aging, never dying, secure in their supremacy. The Norse gods, however, are not truly immortal. They can age without their magical apples of Idun, and they are destined to perish at Ragnarok. This difference is striking. Greek myths express a world where gods are untouchable, while Norse myths show gods as powerful yet vulnerable, facing the same inescapable doom as mortals. For the Greeks, immortality reflects their pursuit of eternal glory. For the Norse, mortality reflects their acceptance of struggle and final destruction. So, who comes out on top? Zeus, with his thunderbolts and unshakable throne, or Odin with his wisdom and sacrifice? Thor, beloved hammer wielder, or Ares, feared warlord? Aphrodite, goddess of irresistible beauty, or Freya, goddess of both passion and battle? Hermes, charming trickster, or Loki, chaotic schemer? There is no single winner, because these gods were never meant to fight each other. They were mirrors of the cultures that created them. The Greeks lived in a Mediterranean world of city-states, philosophy, and art, so their gods reflected order, beauty, and permanence. The Norse lived in a cold, unforgiving land of survival, so their gods reflected struggle, sacrifice, and doom. Both pantheons gave meaning to human lives, teaching lessons through myth, whether it was the importance of wisdom, the dangers of pride, the glory of heroism, or the inevitability of fate. In the end, comparing Norse and Greek gods is like comparing fire and ice. One shines with eternal brilliance, the other burns with doomed courage. And perhaps that's why, thousands of years later, these gods still capture our imagination. They remind us not just of ancient beliefs, but of timeless truths about power, love, war, and destiny. Two pantheons, two worlds, forever shaping the way we tell stories about gods and ourselves.